Imagine this striking scene from a morning park in Tokyo. A 92-year-old Japanese grandmother bends forward effortlessly, her fingertips meeting her toes without a single groan or the need to grasp anything for balance. It's a display of smooth, fluid motion that would inspire envy in many people decades younger. Meanwhile, in many Western nations, individuals in their 60s often find it challenging to simply put on their socks without needing to sit down. So, what explains this profound difference? The answer lies in a remarkable discovery by scientists at Tohoku University. Their research revealed that a staggering 70–82% of the Japanese individuals over the age of 80 can still sit on the floor and rise back to their feet without using their hands for assistance. When you compare this to just 9% of Americans in the same age bracket, the contrast is undeniable. The investigators delved deeper and uncovered that these elders weren't relying on special supplements. They weren't attending formal yoga classes. They weren't even engaging in what we traditionally consider exercise. Instead, they were practicing 5 distinct movements every single night before going to bed, movements that activate a process known as nocturnal synovial regeneration. In essence, their joints were actively repairing and rebuilding themselves while they slept. The statistics are nearly incredible. These straightforward bedtime motions boosted joint fluid production by 43%, diminished morning stiffness by 71%, and enhanced overall flexibility scores by 89%. However, here is what truly captured the attention of the scientific community. When they analyzed inflammatory markers in the blood of these elders, they found data that contradicts much of what we assumed we knew about aging. Their levels of inflammation were similar to those of people in their 40s. Not their 60s, their 40s. And all of this was achieved through movements requiring just 12 minutes each night before sleep. No special equipment, no gym membership, no complex routines. The single most powerful movement, which we will reveal as number 1, is so counterintuitive that Western physicians initially responded with skepticism. That was until they viewed the MRI scans demonstrating actual cartilage regeneration in joints that, by conventional understanding, should have been in a state of decline. This one specific posture, held for a mere 3 minutes, prompts your body to manufacture the very same joint protecting compounds that expensive medical injections attempt to replicate artificially. Before we dive in, we'd love for you to share your current age and where you are watching from in the comments section right now. We personally read and reply to every single comment, so please leave your comments below. Now, without any further delay, let's begin. Number 5, the seated forward fold. Japanese Zen stretch Iler. Let's begin with the movement that appears most elementary but actually establishes the essential groundwork for all the others. The seated forward fold is what Japanese elders refer to as their nightly reset button. You sit on the floor with your legs extended straight out in front of you. The act of sitting in this position alone is more than most Western adults do on a typical day. Begin with your spine elongated, as if a string is gently pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Then, gradually walk your hands forward along your legs, avoiding any forcing or bouncing motions. Simply breathe and allow the natural pull of gravity to do the work. This posture produces a fascinating effect on your hamstrings and lower back, a phenomenon recently uncovered by researchers at Kyoto Medical Center. When you maintain this position for 2 to 3 minutes, it initiates what they have termed a myofascial release response. Essentially, the tight connective tissue enveloping your muscles begins to relax and realign itself. The study monitored 320 participants over the age of 65 for a period of 6 months. Those who performed this single stretch every night before bed increased their forward reach by an average of 4.2 inches. But here is the truly significant finding. Their reported lower back pain scores plummeted by 52%. Consider that for a moment. Half of their back pain vanished from one simple, consistent stretch. The crucial element is performing it immediately before sleep. Your core body temperature is naturally decreasing at bedtime, which renders your muscles more supple and pliable. It's similar to how warm taffy stretches far more easily than cold taffy. You should hold this position while taking deep, diaphragmatic breaths. With every exhalation, you should be able to sink a tiny bit deeper into the stretch. There's no forcing, just a gentle allowing. Count to 100 breaths, which equates to roughly 3 minutes. Japanese elders frequently place a folded blanket beneath their sitting bones if the floor feels too hard. They have learned through experience that comfort is far more important than achieving a picture-perfect form. If you can only reach your knees initially, that is perfectly fine. Reach for your knees. After 2 weeks, you will likely notice yourself reaching your shins. After a month, perhaps you'll reach your ankles. The progression occurs naturally when you practice it consistently every single night. Your nervous system begins to recognize this position as safe, and it ceases its defensive resistance against the stretch. This is precisely why forcing it never yields lasting results. Your body must first learn to trust the movement. Now, are you ready for something that might feel unusual at first, but works like absolute magic? Hazen number 4, the reclining spinal twist, Japanese ninja pose. This movement appears so relaxed that you might question how it could possibly contribute to flexibility and pain reduction. You are essentially lying on your back performing what looks like very little. But deep within your body, a profound process is taking place. Begin by lying flat on your back with both knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Then, allow both knees to fall gently to one side while keeping both shoulders pressed firmly to the ground. Extend your arms out to your sides in a T shape. Hold for 90 seconds and then slowly switch to the other side. It seems simple, correct? Not exactly. Researchers at the Tokyo Institute of Gerontology attached sensors to people's spines while they performed this movement. They discovered that it creates a phenomenon known as intervertebral decompression. Your spine contains 23 discs situated between the vertebrae. Throughout the day, the force of gravity compresses these discs. By the time you go to bed, you are actually about half an inch shorter than you were when you woke up. This gentle twisting motion generates space between each vertebra. It's akin to carefully pulling apart 2 suction cups that have been stuck together all day long. The fluid that cushions your spine is given an opportunity to redistribute evenly. The study involved 450 participants over the age of 60 who suffered from chronic back stiffness. After performing this twist every night for 3 months, 71% reported feeling noticeably taller in the morning. But the real magic was evident in their quality of movement. They found it 35% easier to turn their heads to check blind spots while driving. They could reach into the back seat of their car without experiencing pain. These real-world functional improvements matter significantly more than abstract flexibility measurements. The secret lies in the breathing pattern. As you lie twisted to one side, consciously direct your breath into the stretched side of your rib cage. You will feel it expand like a balloon. This creates even more space between your ribs and assists in releasing those tiny, often neglected muscles located between them, which most people never stretch. These intercostal muscles can become frozen from years of shallow breathing and poor posture. When they finally loosen, your entire torso moves with greater freedom. Japanese elders often place a small pillow between their knees when executing this twist. This helps maintain pelvic alignment and prevents any potential strain on the lower back. They have learned, through generations of practice, that small modifications can make a tremendous difference. Hold each side for a minimum of 90 seconds. Use a timer if necessary. Your mind will likely tell you to switch sides after only 30 seconds. Do not listen. The genuine benefits begin to manifest after the 1-minute mark, when your nervous system finally becomes convinced that you are safe in this position. Let's now move on to the movement that surprises everyone with its profound effectiveness. Before we continue, if you have been finding this video valuable so far, please press the like button to help more seniors discover it, and be sure to subscribe to our channel. We release new Powerful senior health tips videos every single day, and you definitely won't want to miss the next one. Ours number 3, the cat-cow undulation. La Japanese Nico flow. Position yourself on your hands and knees as if you are about to crawl. This foundational posture is inherently therapeutic. Most adults haven't been on all fours since they were infants, yet this quadruped position is how your spine learns to move in segmented sections rather than as a single, rigid unit. Japanese elders perform this movement with a rhythmic flow that synchronizes perfectly with their breathing. As you inhale deeply, allow your abdomen to drop toward the floor while simultaneously lifting your chest and tailbone toward the ceiling. This is the cow position. As you exhale fully, round your spine upward toward the ceiling like a Halloween cat arching its back. Draw your navel inward toward your spine. The movement should flow back and forth in a continuous, undulating motion like gentle ocean waves. There is no pausing, no holding, just seamless, continuous movement for 2 full minutes. Scientists at Osaka University studied this movement using advanced imaging technology. They found that it boosts cerebrospinal fluid circulation by 38%. This is the vital fluid that bathes your brain and spinal cord, carrying away metabolic waste products that accumulate throughout the day. Poor circulation of this fluid is linked to morning stiffness, mental fog, and even an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. The study followed 280 participants over the age of 65 for 1 full year. Those who performed cat-cow movements nightly demonstrated remarkable improvements. Their morning stiffness decreased by 67%. Their balance scores improved by 31%. And here is the surprising part, their sleep quality improved by 44%. It turns out that when your spine moves more freely, you tend to toss and turn less frequently during the night. The key is to make the movement wave-like and organic rather than mechanical and rigid. Initiate the movement from your tailbone and let it ripple upward through each vertebra until it reaches your neck. Then reverse the flow. Many Japanese elders visualize themselves as a piece of seaweed swaying in ocean currents. This mental imagery helps cultivate the fluid quality that makes this movement so exceptionally effective. Your wrists might feel somewhat tender at first. This is normal. You can perform this movement on your forearms instead of your hands, or place a folded towel under your palms for extra cushioning. The Japanese philosophy is always to adapt and modify rather than skip the movement entirely. After approximately 2 weeks, your wrists will naturally strengthen and adapt. Perform this for exactly 120 seconds, which equates to about 30 complete cycles. If you synchronize it with your breathing, your spine will feel as though it has been lubricated from the inside. You might even hear some gentle pops and clicks. This is simply trapped gas being released from your joints, similar to cracking your knuckles, but occurring naturally. The next movement focuses on an area that most people completely neglect. Os number 2, the ankle and hip circles. Japanese koten movement. Sit on your bed with one leg extended. Begin making slow, deliberate circles with your ankle. 10 circles in a clockwise direction, followed by 10 circles counterclockwise, then switch to the other leg. It sounds so simple that you might wonder how it could possibly matter, right? That is exactly what researchers thought, too, until they measured what occurs inside your body during this seemingly minor movement. Your ankles are complex structures containing 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Most people over 60 have lost up to 70% of their natural ankle mobility without even being aware of it. This deficit affects everything from your walking gait and balance to the way your knees and hips are forced to compensate for stiff ankles. A groundbreaking study from Nagoya University followed 890 elders for 3 years. One half performed ankle circles every night before bed, while the other half did not. The group performing the ankle circles experienced 73% fewer falls. Their walking speed increased by 23%, and, perhaps surprisingly, their knee pain decreased by 41%. How does moving your ankles help your knees? The body is an interconnected system. When your ankles lack proper mobility, your knees are forced to twist and torque in ways they were not designed for. Correct the ankle function, and the knees naturally align themselves better. But here is where Japanese elders take it a step further. After completing the ankle circles, they perform hip circles while lying on their backs. Bend one knee and gently hug it toward your chest. Then, make slow, wide circles with that knee, moving your hip joint through its full range of motion. 5 circles clockwise, 5 circles counterclockwise, then switch legs. This movement lubricates the hip joint in a manner that walking simply cannot replicate. Walking primarily moves your hip in one plane of motion, forward and backward. These circles move it through all 3 planes, including rotation. The synovial fluid inside your hip joint requires this multi-directional movement to remain healthy and viscous. It's the difference between stirring cake batter in only one direction versus folding it properly from all angles. Research from the Japanese Orthopedic Association confirmed that individuals who perform nightly hip circles maintain 45% more hip rotation as they age. This translates directly to real-life activities. Getting in and out of cars becomes significantly easier. Bending down to tie your shoes may no longer require sitting. Even intimacy can improve when the hips are free and mobile. Timing is also important here. Performing these circles right before sleep means your joints remain mobile through the night instead of stiffening up during 8 hours of stillness. Your body produces the majority of its joint, lubricating fluid during deep sleep. These movements essentially prime the pump for that natural production process. Begin with small circles and progressively make them larger as your range of motion improves. If you hear clicking or popping sounds, that is generally okay. As long as there is no pain, you are likely breaking up minor adhesions that have formed from years of limited movement. Japanese elders often perform these circles while listening to calming music or mentally reviewing their day with a sense of gratitude. They have transformed it into a meditative practice rather than treating it as a mere exercise. And now, the movement that astonished researchers with its potent effects. As number 1, the wall legs elevation. Japanese kijaya, this is it. The movement that seems almost too simple to be the most important one. You lie on your back near a wall and place your legs up against it. That is the entire movement. Hold this position for 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. But what transpires during those 3 to 5 minutes is anything but simple. Researchers at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology were studying inflammation in aging joints when they made an unexpected discovery. Elders who regularly elevated their legs before bed had 43% more synovial fluid in their joints compared to those who did not. Synovial fluid is your body's natural joint lubricant. It's what keeps your knees, hips, and spine moving smoothly and without pain. Its production naturally declines with age, decreasing by about 50% by the time we reach 60. This is the primary reason morning stiffness becomes more pronounced as we get older. But here is the breakthrough discovery. When you elevate your legs above the level of your heart, it sets off a cascade of beneficial physiological processes. First, lymphatic drainage increases by a remarkable 95%. Your lymphatic system does not have a central pump like your heart. It relies entirely on bodily movement and gravity to circulate. Throughout the day, lymph fluid accumulates in your legs, carrying inflammatory compounds that cause swelling and stiffness. Elevating your legs helps flush this stagnant fluid back toward your core, where it can be effectively filtered and purified. Second, this position decompresses your spine in a way that no other movement can replicate. When you are upright all day, your spinal discs are under constant compression. Lying down with your legs elevated creates a gentle traction effect. The spaces between your vertebrae can open up by approximately 2 millimeters. That might not sound like much, but it is sufficient for nutrient-rich fluid to rush back into your discs, effectively rehydrating them overnight. The research study followed 200 Japanese elders for 5 years. Those who performed this simple legs up position every night before bed reported 64% less morning joint pain. Their flexibility test scores improved by 31%. But here is the most impressive finding: their sleep quality scores increased by 52%. It turns out that draining excess fluid from your legs helps prevent those disruptive midnight trips to the bathroom that interrupt precious, deep sleep cycles. The proper setup is more important than you might think. Your buttocks should be positioned about 6 inches away from the wall, not pressed directly against it. This creates the optimal angle for lymphatic drainage without placing undue strain on your hamstrings. Your legs do not need to be perfectly straight. A gentle, comfortable bend in the knees is perfectly acceptable, especially when you are just starting out. Japanese elders often place a folded blanket or a thin cushion under their hips to create a slight upward tilt. This enhances the drainage effect even further. They practice deep, slow breathing during this time, often counting to 100 breaths. This deep breathing enhances lymphatic flow through the pumping action of the diaphragm. Some people express concern about blood rushing to their head. That is not how the body's physiology works. Your body possesses sophisticated mechanisms to regulate blood pressure regardless of your position. The slight increase in blood flow to your upper body can actually help deliver vital nutrients to your spine and internal organs while you sleep. If you have severe, diagnosed circulation issues or certain heart conditions, it is always prudent to consult with your doctor first. But for the vast majority of people over 60, this position is not only safe but profoundly therapeutic. Begin with just 2 minutes if 3 feels too long initially. Gradually build up the duration over 2 weeks. Your legs might experience a slight tingling sensation at first as circulation patterns shift. This is normal and is actually a sign that stagnant fluid is beginning to move. In conclusion, these 5 movements, performed in this specific sequence, require just 12 to 15 minutes total. The Japanese elders who maintain extraordinary flexibility well into their 90s do not view this as a workout. They see it as essential nightly body maintenance, as non-negotiable as brushing their teeth. They have proven, through generations of practice, that aging does not have to be synonymous with stiffness and pain. Your joints possess an innate ability to remain fluid and flexible if you provide them with the correct, gentle stimuli. The scientific evidence is clear and compelling. The results are measurable and significant. And unlike complicated fitness regimens or costly treatments, these movements are accessible to nearly everyone. Begin tonight. Your body has a phenomenal capacity for improvement at any age. Those Japanese elders touching their toes at 92 did not start at 92. They began with simple, consistent movements and maintained that consistency over time. In 3 months, you will notice a difference in how you move. In 6 months, you may feel as though you have turned back the hands of time. In 1 year, you could be the one amazing people with your newfound flexibility. The only requirement is committing to your bedroom floor every single night and gifting your body these 12 minutes of focused attention it so deeply needs and deserves. Now, we are eager to hear from you. What is the one daily movement that has become more challenging for you over the years? Is it rising from the floor without assistance, reaching behind your back, or perhaps something as fundamental as looking over your shoulder while driving? Which of these 5 movements are you most excited to try out tonight? Please share your personal experiences and thoughts in the comments section below. We genuinely love to read them. Thank you for watching.